Super Mario 64 has a lot of unique and wondrous levels going through many different terrains and setups. One of the most unique and fascinating ones is Jolly Roger Bay. Unlike Bob-omb Battlefield, Snowman's Land, and Lethal Lava Land, Jolly Roger Bay doesn't have that chaotic atmosphere. Upon entry, it comes with this very calm and serene surrounding, coupled with this very soothing track you are hearing right now. Top that off with this mysterious ship of unknown origins. Why had it sunk originally? Was it originally owned by someone named Jolly Roger? And through your efforts, you even revived the ship to sail again. But yet, there is still one other major mystery with this odd ship. Aside from its underwater and floating versions, a third version of the ship also exists in the sky. So today on Cut Content, we look at the cut third version of the ship in Jolly Roger Bay. Why it may be floating in the sky, how it functions, and why it may have been cut. When one opens up a level editor for Super Mario 64, you have the ability to see every object and geometry within a level, whether used or unused. Jolly Roger Bay is one of the best ones to show this off. Normally you can't see the sunken ship and the floating ship at the same time, as they are the same ship on different stages of the level, but using this, they show up at the same time. However, if you move the camera up just a bit, we see this third unused version of the ship in the middle of the sky. It's a mystery why it's here, and why in the sky of all places. The ship in the sky, however, has been programmed to not appear in the level whatsoever, which is why we never saw it in the first place. However, we do of course have a Game Shark code that enables the ship to appear in the level as seen in the level editor. The ship, first and foremost, only appears in the first level, Plunder in the Sunken Ship, same level where the ship is sunk. When looking at the ship from afar, something looks off. Yes, it is in the sky, but it doesn't look right. So getting in closer, I noticed that it started to disappear. So zooming all the way out with this camera tool I have, we can see, however, that the ship slowly fades away as Mario gets closer and closer to it. This would explain why it was already a tad off from the entrance, as it was partially faded away. In fact, if you take this camera tool right up to the ship itself for a close-up, it's partially see-through. The only thing in this game that is partially see-through are boos when you face them. We'll get back to this point in a bit. Other than that though, the ship looks more or less identical in detail. The one last thing I wanted to try was trying to get Mario to that ship. So we try the cannon and of course, the ship would disappear upon getting closer and Mario passes right through where it should be. This ship, while it may look just like the actual ship, functions very differently from its two other versions. So what is this ship? Well, going back to the level editor, let's look at the data for the ship. It is set for only appearing in the first level of Jolly Roger Bay as stated earlier. The sunken ship also has these same parameters, while the floating ship is set to only appear in stages 2 to 6 and not in stage 1. Therefore, the floating ship and the sunken ship have been programmed to not appear at the same time, but the ship in the sky is set to appear at the same time as the sunken ship only. But why? Consider this. A ship that has sunk to the bottom of the sea is considered a dead ship, can't sail, and just there to rot over time. So if this is a dead ship, and this ship is in the sky, which is transparent, disappears as you get closer, can't be touched, and also appears at the same time as the sunken ship, well then, ladies and gentlemen, this might be a ghost ship. Ghost ships, while normally are just meant to be ships that have no one on board and abandoned at sea, here the developers seemingly were intending for this to be the literal ghost of the ship. Interestingly enough, this wouldn't be the only time these developers delved into ghost ships, as they did it again in Wind Waker. And of course, once the sunk ship is revived and starts floating again in stage 2 and onwards, the sky ship is also gone, as if it had literally come back to life again. As fascinating as this is, what was its purpose then? I personally think that it might have just been for guiding the player and to be decoration for the level. Imagine for a moment being 7 years old in 1996 and you get a copy of Super Mario 64 for the first time, and you enter this level to see this big ship floating over. Your first intention may be to go towards it. As you get to it, you notice it's gone and wonder what happened, which then you may look down in the depths of the sea and see that another ship is just there, and you swim towards it, solve its puzzle, and revive the ship. As for decoration, I can imagine they wanted to have this to add to the calm and cool atmosphere of the level too, much as how we had those Hell Valley trees in the Shiver Burn Galaxy level of Super Mario Galaxy, which just stare at Mario from a distance as scenery. So then why was it removed? While it's hard to say why, I theorized it either might have been removed for it being maybe a little too hand-holding if this was meant to be guidance, or simply it being static and not moving in what was kind of a small level made it look kind of awkward just staying there. Otherwise, it's possible this level was very different at one point and that this ship worked vastly differently, and it might have been more of a ghost level back then. And of course, the final question is, did this remain in the DS version? And it didn't. In a level editor of the DS version, we can clearly see no floating ship in this version, and not left anywhere in the code too, meaning this ship has truly sailed away. Even when we sometimes think that Super Mario 64 has had its mysteries and cut content solved, we suddenly may be hit with yet another discovery that energizes us to explore the game further. Whether it's Super Mario 64 or even another Mario game, I'll plan to be back to cover more of these mysteries, so hit the subscribe button for I'll be back with more cut content on Mario and other games too. Hit the like button too if you liked it, and comment below on what you think the ship was. As well, check out my new Zelda cut content video that will be going concurrently with other cut content episodes of this channel. So everyone, thank you for watching!